Hey guys, welcome to the Game Precast episode 23. I'd like to apologize for there being no upload last week. We had some technical difficulties. If you were one of the one or two people who were able to view it before we got to take it down, my audio was completely gone for the episode because OBS had an issue. So the entire time was Mike just talking to himself, which that could be very entertaining because Mike definitely had a rage moment about something. And just to summarize real quick what happened last week,
Did I? I don't even remember that.
regarding Sony. So
Oh,
Sony,
right.
they're assholes. They're a mess. Kojima plus Xbox, pretty cool. Age of Empires 4 looks really cool. Go check it out. And Deathloop being delayed is unfortunate, but we want that game to release in the best possible way, so we are okay with it. But that is about the best I can do to sum up an hour and a half in 1 minute. But yeah, I mean, our consensus on the Sony situation was pretty much similar to everyone else in the community. Days Gone 2 should have happened.
Massive missed opportunity.
Fuck them for putting Sony Bend as a sports studio.
Fuck all the emphasis on Naughty Dog. They
We don't need a
deserve
Last
it.
of Us remake. There's other games Naughty Dog can make. But you know what? Sony has done some decent things this week. I'm not gonna say good things, but decent things. They've made a step in the right direction, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But before we get to there, I'd like to
All
talk.
they've done is correct a mistake, which, yeah,
Yeah,
it is a step in the right direction, but it's only reversing their step backwards, so it's not really a step forward.
yeah. So before we get into the actual topics, I'd like to talk about what we've been playing. So, Mike, what have you been doing this week?
One game only.
Is that Skyrim? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
your tweet about it.
I've just been playing that pretty much religiously,
Oh yeah, Mike
nonstop.
declared Fault in Vegas the best game ever made last week. So
What did I? I didn't
you
declare
said it
it.
was top 5.
It's in my top 5 for sure, and it has, it could be regarded as the best game ever made. There's an argument for that for sure. I mean, but does Skyrim live up to that? Fuck no. It's probably one of the most shallow RPGs I've ever played in my life, man. But is it fun? Absolutely. It's just nice to roam around, explore, kill shit, and not have to really try or worry about any difficulty. It's not as good as I remember. I mean, nostalgia definitely helps, with my opinion of the game.
It has been
It's
10 years, which is crazy to think about, but it's legit
Well, I
been
played it
almost 10 years.
yeah, I played it more recently than that, but back on 360 or anything, I actually never beat it. I just kind of ran around, did a bunch of side stuff, and
Dude,
like hit level
I've
30 something.
I've done
Just
the
like
intro like 3 times. I've never gotten any progress in that game. I beat like the Civil War once.
I just
But
did that. Yeah.
I've made like 4 missions into the main campaign, and I've gone done side activities, and then I've gotten distracted by something else coming out, and then never went back to it.
Well, I finally beat the main story and all the faction quest lines, and I beat Dawnguard, and I'm almost done with Dragonborn now, which is the second expansion. I'm having a really good time. I mean, the writing's pretty fucking terrible. The voice acting is, it's good at times, but I'm tired of hearing the same like 5 voices over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the writing just doesn't make sense. There's no real depth to anything. I mean, everything is just kind of handed to you like, "Oh, you join a guild, that guild master better start writing their letter of resignation then because they're not going to be around for much longer or preparing for their funeral, one of the two." Um it's just I don't know. I feel like it's not as immersive as I remember, but it is a relaxing game to play. And yeah, it's quite a bit of fun. Uh do I think it's a 10 out of 10 like I used to think as a kid? No. Probably more around an 8, honestly. Like I understand Skyrim's, beloved, but if you really analyze that game and compare it to something like New Vegas, it's like it doesn't even compare. Yeah, it's just like
That's fair.
completely leagues apart. Um and even, I never really played all too much of Oblivion. I am going to go back to it when I'm done with Skyrim. But even I remember Oblivion and Morrowind just being so much more in depth in this game. And, it's a very pretty world, pretty deep background lore, a lot of reading you can do to find out about certain things. But just the overall presentation lacks depth. And I missed that as a
Yeah.
kid. But it's real easy to pick up now. That's for sure. And I just don't find myself as enthralled as I once was. I just find myself relaxed. It's an
Yeah.
easy game.
Now I know you're not big on like PC and all that, but there is a really cool mod that I'd like to give a shout out to called Sky Oblivion. Now basically what they're
Oh,
doing is they are
and there's Skywind too.
porting Oblivion into Skyrim's engine. So they're enhancing the graphics completely. I mean, you do have to own both Skyrim and Oblivion to play it, but I mean, they're pretty much remastering the entire game for you to check out. And as you said, they're doing it for Morrowind as well. Both of them they're both being made by different teams. They're kind of working together, but different squads, and they're both getting really close to releasing. I believe the Oblivion one's a little bit closer. I might be wrong though, but within the next year or two, I would imagine at least one of them will be out, which is really cool to check out if you are on PC.
Yeah, I definitely really want to get back into PC for all the mods that these games have. Like, I mean, I know, the Elder Scrolls games have always had a very dedicated modding community, and I
Yeah,
am interested in that because I have partaken in that quite a bit when I did play on PC mainly. But I'm really more interested in the New Vegas mods at this point. I want to
yeah.
come back for New California, all that other cool stuff, all the quests, all the weapons, all the companions, all the new maps and everything. I'm pretty sure Fallout Miami's for Fallout 4. But there
Yeah.
is like other like new expansion type
Oh,
mods
dude,
that are
and there's a ton
ridiculous.
for Fallout 4 being made as well. There's a Fallout London one. There is one called Fallout Cascadia, which is like Oregon, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But there are just so many big DLC size mods being worked on, and that's the main reason I started playing on PC was for mods for Bethesda games. I mean, that was one of the main factors that made me build my PC because there's so many cool mods that could really expand the length of like any Elder Scrolls game, any Fallout game, and I mean, hopefully Microsoft doesn't stop the modding. They've seemed like they'll still be very supportive of it. Hopefully, I don't want it to go away in Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 because I think they know how huge that modding community is, and I don't think they want to break it up.
No, I
But
don't think they do either.
because I'm just thinking about some of the massive mods that are going to come out for Elder Scrolls 6 while we're waiting for Elder Scrolls 7. We'll be in our fucking 30s, 40s by then probably. So we'll be old men. But
Look, I just want another Obsidian made Fallout, and I'll be content, man. That's all I want.
uh, so yeah, I've been on the grind on Dark Souls too.
I can tell.
I've been
I've
grinding.
seen you on there quite
I,
a bit.
I'm getting close. I'm getting towards the end. I think I'm getting towards the end. I don't know. I mean, it feels like I'm getting towards the end. I
Did you
just.
reach Drang Lake yet?
What was that?
Did you reach Drang Lake yet? Drang Lake
It.
Castle.
Yes, I reached the castle.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
uh. I
That
went in
is the
there.
final area, but you do need to unlock some things to explore it to its full capacity.
Yeah, I went in. Um. I killed the two dragon rider dudes. I
That was
killed
ridiculously easy.
the yeah. I dude, that was so much easier than I thought. But the archer just took like 3 shots and was dead. Um.
That's a joke.
I killed the bigger boss that was after that, which I forget who the fuck it's called.
Velstad.
Not him. It
Not
was
Velstad? Because he's after those two.
maybe it was him. It was some like knight looking dude with like a long sword and he has a shield that has like a mirror in it and some dude comes
Oh,
out of
Mirror Knight.
there you go.
Yeah, or Looking Glass Knight, depending on which version of the game
Okay.
you play.
Yeah, it was looking
Yeah,
glass knight for me. I beat that. I went into the shrine of Amona, some shit like that.
Shrine of Amana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
now
beat the
you're gonna have
boss
to
in
fight
there. That made me
Demon of
rage so
Song.
much I almost stopped playing the game. Cause
What? Demon of Song is so easy.
not the demon of song. The walk to the demon of song. Going
Ah,
through that water, I fucking died so many times to these little fucking laser beaming shit bags. Um, but yeah, Demon of Song I beat on my first try. Um, and then I am in some dark area with like no light, and that's where I'm at right now.
or are you in the crypt?
Yes.
You're probably in the crypt. Yeah. Now you're about to fight Velstad. He's
Okay.
down there, and then after him is King Vendrick.
So
But you don't have to fight King Vendrick.
am I in the end game?
You should. You're all yeah, pretty much. I
All
mean,
right,
you're
cool.
about to be. Um, yeah, you have to get something from
But I
Vendrick
still have to do the DLC as well.
to unlock the final door. I think it's a key or something, and then you can fight him. But he's the hardest boss in the game because he has like a retarded amount of damage resistance. It's kind of insane. We should cut this part out. I
Why?
just realized the
What?
retarded thing. We would get eaten alive even for just saying that shit in this
Why?
day and age. Why?
What?
Because people get offended over everything.
What?
That's
What,
like
what did
such.
you even say? I didn't even pick up on it.
I said retarded
Oh
because you
no,
and I,
dude,
we
dude,
don't give a shit.
no. We don't. We are our fucking our maximum 10 viewers. They're all fucking retards like
Yeah,
us, dude.
but to say like
No,
say we
we're fine.
build up and we get bigger one day, and then people come back and they see this exact conversation, and they're
I
like,
don't.
oh,
I
you
don't
said a big
think.
meaning word. I don't think it's a big meaning
I'd
word
make.
at
I
all.
don't think
But
anyone's gonna cancel you because you said retard.
oh,
I.
now they're gonna get you too.
We're all fucked, dude. Um,
Whatever.
but
You never fucking
we
know with
are
this shit.
true to our world. We are true to our word on this show. All right, we are. That word is in our vocabulary. I'm sorry if it offended you. Email me personally. I will apologize. I will send you fucking a lasagna. All right, I'll make you a
Yeah,
lasagna.
there you go. That's a
Um,
good price.
now, what else have I been playing? MLB The Show that came to Game Pass. I was playing it last night. I played it for about maybe 3 hours or so.
Oh wait, hold on. I never made
Oh,
my point about Vendrick though.
all right.
Yeah, no, his damage resistance is like insanely retarded. So, you need to get like a few giant souls. Not like in terms of the amount of souls that you get when you use them, like literal, they're called giant souls from like the corpses of giants and from giant memories and stuff like that. And if you get with each one you get, it lowers his damage resistance by a certain amount. It makes him a lot easier. If you were to fight him, especially since it's your first playthrough, get all of them. Get every single one. And don't
Okay,
use them either. You probably already might have gotten one and used it already for the souls. I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of people do that their
I may
first
have.
playthrough. I did that too. So it's going to be harder if you want to go for it, but it's still entirely possible to pull off. And you do get an achievement for it. So, and some good loot as well.
Okay. And then, what's your opinion on the DLC? Are they any good? I'm gonna play them,
It's
but
better. They're better than the base game.
oh wow, are they long
100%.
or no? Are they short?
The last one can be a little bit to get done, but overall they're pretty short. But some of the bosses, especially in Sunken King,
Is
because
each
there's a
one
lot
like
of
the same
poison.
size as the Dark Souls 1 DLC, or are they?
What was that? You kind of glitched
Are
there a
each
little
one
bit.
the same size as like the Dark Souls 1 DLC? Like 4 bosses in it, kind of thing. Huge map expansion.
Yeah, yeah, but like I wouldn't say they're on par with the Artorias of the Abyss because none of them match that in terms of
Okay.
quality and boss design.
Yeah.
But they they are some pretty good ones, especially the last one, Crown of the Ivory King. By
Okay.
far the best part of that game.
All right. Cool.
And the burnt Ivory King himself is an awesome boss fight too,
Yeah.
and a great lore fight with the arena in particular. But yeah, no, DLC is definitely the best reason to play that game.
All right. Cool. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing some MLB The Show. Also, just went to Game Pass the other day, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Um, made me rage a little bit. I'm striking out on some balls I should be hitting homers on, but besides
Yeah,
that,
no, my roommate's playing that, and I was surprised. And I don't want to get hate for this, but I was surprised how shitty it looks.
oh yeah,
You
dude,
know what
it
I mean?
looks
I mean, it
ugly.
looks like a PS2 game, and he was like, "Oh, believe what you want to believe." I'm like, "Bro, the only thing that you can defend this game's graphics on is the close physics, because those look like, I guess, somewhat decent, when, like a batter's hitting, or a pitcher is throwing the ball and like they have to wind up and twist. Like you can see it like all turn on their clothes and shit, which I'm like, cool fabric physics.
Yeah, the
All right.
textures are a little.
Why does everything look like cardboard though?
Yeah,
Like everything beside it's pathetic, man. I
it's a
mean,
little. Yeah,
I guess it's cool seeing that Sony logo churn up when you're on your Xbox. Like that's interesting. But it's a yearly sports title at the end of the
yeah, I
day,
know.
man. I think people forgot about that.
But it's just because you're comparing it, or a lot of people are comparing it to the only other baseball game they've had on here, which is like fucking a Me Baseball knockoff, or what is it, Wii Sports Resort, fucking like that kind of where it's like a little chubby dude with like the fake bat and they fucking hit a homer every time. It was like that kind of game. I think it's called like Super Baseball 1 or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, like Super Mega Baseball?
Yeah, something like that, dude, where
Yeah.
they have like ridiculous sized heads and they're like. But yeah, I mean, so it's their first like, realistic baseball game. So that's why a lot of Xbox fans are really enjoying it. But I mean, I'm
Well,
having
I'm
fun
glad
with it.
it's
I'll
on
just
Game Pass. I wouldn't
yeah,
pay $60 for that at all.
I think it's 70. But
For that thing? Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna
If
play
you're
through.
content with getting robbed, I mean, be my
I'm
guest.
gonna play through the my career mode. I'll mess around with it a little bit, but then I'll be moving on probably. But let's get into our topics. Um, so
Less, because I am sleep deprived.
our first
I
one.
don't want to pass out during
Now the
this.
gamers have won against Sony to a certain degree. So if you weren't aware, if you're living under a rock, Sony was trying to get rid of the PS3, PS Vita, and PSP stores. They are only getting rid of the PSP stores now. So I guess we kind of won there. So the PS3 and the Vita stores are safe. Now they didn't say for how long. They kind of just said indefinitely. So they could very well be like in a year from now saying, yeah, we're getting rid of them now. Hopefully, if they do get rid of them, they have some sort of backwards compatibility system in place so you can continue playing these games.
Well, how are they going to do that for the Vita?
I don't know. I don't
Exactly.
know, bro. Um. So yeah, at least they listened. You gotta at least, it sucks that they want to do it in the first place, but they listen. It's similar to how Xbox, when they tried to raise the price of gold, everyone rose up. They called their
Well,
fucking
except let's make the distinction right now. Xbox went back on their decision
yes.
in under 24 hours. This
This
took like what, half a week, a week?
Yeah, like 3 days, 4 days. And that's the thing. Like, that's why you can't be a fucking fanboy to your corporations. You have to call them out in this shit because if everyone
Well,
was like,
you can if you want to be a moron.
yeah.
Let's make that clear
But you
right
see,
now.
when everyone's like, oh no, no, who wants to play those games anyway? Like, oh, I love Sony. Oh my god, they're always right. Yeah, then they're not gonna change these decisions. You call them out on their shit, they're gonna change the decisions. It's exactly with Xbox. So that's why you can't just be okay with things like this. You have to actually, show your
Be
frustration.
vocal about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a fat W. Um, we won the war, lost the battle with the PSP store, unfortunately. But honestly, if that doesn't affect PSP games on the PS Vita store, then I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. Because the PSP is ridiculously outdated hardware, and even though I still have one, and I love it, I'll use my Vita over that 100% of the time. I do wish they could have gotten back to us on this earlier though, before I bought certain DLC and
Oh,
games,
dude,
because I
so many
thought
people went and like dropped hundreds of dollars buying shit, and now it's like,
I didn't drop hundreds, but I got like, the DLC for New Vegas. I got DLC for Dark Souls 2, Payday the Heist, some other stuff oh yeah, I got a Star Wars game collection on PS Vita. I spent around $100. I'm a little fucking annoyed if I'm honest,
charge
because
back.
I wouldn't have needed. You can't do it with Sony,
You
their
get
fucking
banned.
refund policy. But yeah, I think this is I thought it was very scummy. I thought that they should have reversed their decision, much quicker, obviously, so people didn't spend money. I mean, people could be like, "Oh, well, it's on you because you're the one who spent the money." Like, yeah, spent the money because I thought the store was closing in fucking July.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get it done and over with, ahead of time. So, oh yeah, and I also got Infamous 2 Season of Blood, I think,
Okay.
whatever the downloadable DLC is for that
Dope.
game, because like it's a standalone expansion, so you
Yeah.
can't get it from anywhere else besides PSN. So that game, if the store shut down, that's completely gone. And
Gone with the wind.
it's an awesome game too, because it allows the protagonist of Infamous 1 and 2 to become a vampire and start using blood powers.
What the fuck?
It's supernatural themed. It's sick. But the fact that that would have been gone forever with no physical copy, no way to preserve it, it's like, damn, that's like a whole ass entry into one of your mainline exclusive franchises. Like I get it's kind of a spin-off, but like still that'd be gone forever. So
Yeah.
I wanted it.
Yeah.
And now
Makes
I'm like,
sense.
"Oh, it's still going to be here." Like fuck off. You already made me spend my money. I guarantee you it was that influx of cash that made them be like, "Oh, let's
Yeah.
keep this
Well,
around."
let's wait a few days.
I hate them.
Yeah.
I love Sony. I love my PlayStation 4, my PlayStation 3, my PlayStation 2, 1, 5, whatever. Their hubris is back. Their arrogance is in like full steam ahead.
It is.
It's just I'm very disappointed in what I'm seeing. It's like Jim Ryan is literally a blonde Don Matrick.
Dude,
That's all he
it's
is.
because Jim Ryan is not a gamer. He doesn't care about games. He cares about numbers. He cares about profits. He doesn't care about what actual people, think about him. He doesn't care about the gamers.
He
And
doesn't care about his
that
developers either.
they're setting up for failure. That's the
No,
it,
they are overestimating, the loyalty of their fan base and the loyalty of the people who work for them. They're really
especially
just like poking both bears at the same time, just seeing how far can we push you guys until you actually stand up to us because they've been so dominant in the industry for such a long time at this point.
yeah. And I mean, Sony is gonna answer back eventually, and they're gonna become more quote unquote consumer friendly eventually. It's just a matter of how long they're gonna keep this up, and no one knows. I mean, it would be the smart thing to do is have this be the stepping stone, and then just continue positive news. But I would not be surprised if we see more negative news coming from Sony.
Well, yeah, they are bringing a new thing to PS Plus, are they not? Like free movies or
That got
something like that.
leaked. I didn't see any actual details about it, so I didn't include it as a topic. I was gonna wait, but there is some rumor going around that they're gonna have some sort of movie pass coming to PlayStation Plus.
But even so, like, what the fuck? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, nice,
exactly.
nice bonus, but I mean, I don't go on my PlayStation and watch movies.
Yeah, it's like the same as like when Xbox did that. They're like, "Oh yeah, here's your entertainment center." Like,
Yeah,
no, we don't care. We don't need to put
I
cable
have
into our
some
TV.
I have some digital movies on Xbox, but it's literally only the Mad Max films because they were having a sale when the game came out. You got like exclusive item in game if you had like the whole anthology, and I fucking love those movies. So I was like, sure,
Yeah,
why not? But that was the only time I ever bought a movie off of there. I've
yeah.
gotten
I
other
mean,
free ones and free TV shows with like Game Pass perks and shit,
yeah.
but
But I've
I've
never
never.
actually bought one. I've used my TV. I've used
I
my
use
Xbox for Disney Plus and stuff like that. But I've never
Yeah, and
actually
I
gone
use
there
the
to go buy
Blu-ray
it.
drive.
Yeah,
I use the Blu-ray drive for physical movies, but like I don't use their store for
yeah.
digital
I
movies
mean,
at all.
so
So
yeah.
if Sony's like starting to loop that in, it's just like okay question mark.
I
Like
mean, I
I
want to
see
wait
what
to
you're
see what the
doing, but
actual deal is and what it actually
yeah,
includes. I mean, it definitely could be cool. I don't. It makes it seem like it's gonna be like, oh, maybe you got like one free movie a month or something like that.
that sucks. Like one a month isn't even worth it. I'd say maybe one every 2 weeks
Yeah, like
or
I
maybe
don't.
two a
If
month.
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
like, oh, here's a brand new Sony movie that's in theaters and you can watch it today, oh, that's fucking awesome. Like if they're like, I could watch Spider Man on fucking release date on my PS5, that'd be fucking crazy. But I know it's not
Marvel
gonna be
wouldn't
there.
let that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait to see the details. It should be out. It's probably gonna be out as soon as we end the podcast. So we'll talk about it next week. But
Probably.
yeah. Let's move into our next topic. All right. So now this is just speculation, but
Mm.
at this point, but there was a massive rumor coming out that Square Enix was going to be getting acquired. Um, it was rumored by insiders that Microsoft was interested, Sony was interested, and some other companies, which probably Tencent.
10 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, now a few hours later, they did come out and give statements saying, "Nope, we're not getting acquired." They shot down the rumor. Do I actually believe it? I don't know. And here's why.
I do.
Here,
I'm just gonna go out and say it that I do.
Square Enix is doing a lot of the things that Bethesda is doing currently, or Bethesda was doing before they got acquired. They're doing a lot of stuff with mobile. As you saw, they had two Final Fantasy apps just get announced recently. One for pretty much the entire Final Fantasy VII remake, remake. Like they made it the original game remade, but not in the style of the remakes, but in the style of the old games on your phone, so you could play through the entire game that way. And then they also made a battle royale for Final Fantasy VII, which has a ton of microtransactions probably and all that. So you see them doing this mobile approach, which we saw with Bethesda, where they were doing that with Fallout Shelter and Elder Scrolls Blade and Elder Scrolls Legends. So you're seeing that similar approach there. You're seeing that they're making deals for exclusivity. We also saw Project Athea, which turned into Forspoken. We've seen that with Final Fantasy VII Remake. We've seen that with the new Final Fantasy 16. We've seen that with Avengers, where they're making Spider-Man content, go to that exclusively. We're seeing that with a few other things as well. And then you're seeing it on the other side where they're doing the deals with Xbox, Game Pass. They're bringing Octopath Traveler over there day one. They're bringing Outriders over there day one. So I mean, they're really on both sides of the fence right now, making a ton of deals, trying to bring in extra revenue for them. And I mean, that's probably just to put their profits price up higher, so then when they get acquired, it's more expensive. If they're making all this money from all these deals this year, that's going to shoot their price up. And it's similar to what Bethesda did. I mean, you saw Bethesda obviously with the apps that I just mentioned about, but you also saw them do the deal, adding stuff to Game Pass, adding stuff to PS Now. You saw them Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo become, I think it was year exclusives. You saw they were trying to do it with Starfield, which would have been very expensive, and then obviously they got acquired by Microsoft. So I mean, it's a very similar activity there. We know Square Enix hasn't been in the best spot financially. They've had a lot of hit or miss kind of games. I mean, Avengers was obviously a complete flop. Some stuff from Final Fantasy didn't do that great prior to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Um, and some few other things. I mean, Outriders was a success, which is good, but a lot of their other stuff hasn't been the great for them financially, and you can only have so many hits before it really hurts you, and you consider selling. So that is my thoughts. And also
Well,
the Epic Games deal. Epic Games paid them a lot of money to bring Kingdom Hearts to PC, so that's another deal as well. You can go ahead now.
I don't have much to say in addition to what you just explained because for the most part I do agree with all of your reasoning. It's just I don't like while I do think Square Enix will be bought out within the next 5 to 10 years, I don't think it's gonna happen now. I don't think it's gonna happen this year. I think people jumped the gun on possibly some talks that were starting to swirl around, but they were way too premature and bring it to light, as games journalists often are, which
Yeah.
usually which have been pissing me off more and more recently because we were supposed to get the Elden Ring reveal soon, and then that leaked footage pushed it all back. And it's just like if you could all keep your fucking mouth shut, like if your greediness for clicks wasn't such a problem, we would have already had the official announcement and information already, and you would have gotten way more views, from that. But you want to be selfish. You just want to get the word out, and then you push back the entire official, outline of things. But I don't want to get too deep into a rant. I think that same principle is probably what happened here with Square Enix. I guarantee you that someone somewhere brought up the idea and some inklings of a conversation were about to start, and then some prick with a blog found out about it and then spewed it out. And then as more reputable people got onto it, they started regurgitating it. And then Square Enix was like, whoa, 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 we were just starting to think about it. You know what? Fuck this. We're putting it back on you know, the drawing board. We'll give it a while. We're going to let this shit settle down and blow over. We are not making any commitments at this time. And then you have all these goddamn reputable people coming out and being like, oh, Microsoft's interested, Sony's interested, Tencent's interested. And it's like, whoa, slow the hell
Well,
down.
I mean,
We aren't that far along yet.
to be
And
fair, that
Square Enix has just come out and saying, like, they're just straight up denying that they ever even happened. I don't think that's true.
yeah.
I think some conversations or the start of some conversations have definitely occurred, but I think just all the media coverage and press just shot down the speed of things significantly.
Now, just to reiterate on that, I know Mike said that it was a small person with a blog. It was Bloomberg, who is probably the most credible, you know, source in our industry. I mean, I don't remember a time where Bloomberg has been wrong. They are not,
Okay.
huge in the gaming world. So when they do report and stuff in the gaming world, it's usually been correct. Whether it's,
When you hold on, when you say you don't recall a time Bloomberg has been wrong, you mean particularly about video games,
about
right?
video games, nothing
Because
else.
when it comes
Yeah,
to
no, nope,
everything
nope,
else, they've
nothing.
been wrong a shit ton.
Fuck you, Michael Bloomberg. All right.
Fuck Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah, just talking about gaming news, not talking about because they don't report on gaming news all the time. So when they do, it's usually been right. Whether it's been
Okay,
about
well then let me adjust my theory then.
okay,
It didn't start with a small blog. It started with the biggest fucking blog on the planet. And then it trickled down. So instead of it going down and up, it went up and down. The same result.
yeah,
My point stands.
yeah. I still think they're having talks. I don't think this is scaring
But
them
they're much
away.
quieter now. If they
Yeah,
are having, they're much quieter and much more slower paced.
I mean, I think this is just not scare away, stockholders in their company. I mean, they are public technically.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. All these people talking about a buyout, all these
Well, the
investors are
other
like,
thing is that
huh?
Square Enix. I mean, technically speaking, I think Square Enix does not hold like the actual people here who sent this thing out. Fucking, Yokoshima, whatever his name is, who actually is like the founder and all that. They don't own that much. So technically, a company like Microsoft or Sony could be trying to get shares from other people. Like, I don't know who actually owns the other shares. I know it was online. I was reading it recently, and they have a ton of different holders. Holding different 5 to 10%. So I mean, technically, Microsoft could try to go get a partial share and then go get the rest, and that's for any company as well, Sony or Nintendo, whoever. But Yeah, I mean, it's something we'll have to keep an eye on. I don't think anytime soon. I'm thinking in the next 2 years they will be acquired, though. That's my prediction. So let's move on to our next topic. Go.
Whoa, so you said within the next 2
Yeah,
years?
I
Oh, that's a bold prediction. I mean, you're probably not wrong, but I
dude,
think
I just think there's gonna
minimum
be so
5.
much consolidation in our industry. It's just
Yeah,
gonna start happening, and
there's
Bethesda
a
was the first. Like,
surprising.
there are so many deals probably in the works right now. Like after that Bethesda thing, this is like the highest the gaming industry has ever been in like value, and it's probably just gonna start. I don't want to say it's gonna fucking drop down massively, but after the pandemic, there will be a little yeet down.
Honestly, I think it's only gonna go up, personally. I mean, with all these software subscriptions being sold to services like Game Pass, and obviously Sony's gonna be working on a competitor for that. And with the Switch booming and also allowing for mass portability of gaming, I don't know. The ease of access is so much more, just
Yeah, but I mean,
broader and
if you're
available like it has never been before, and I think just so many people are jumping in at a rate that we've never seen,
yeah, I mean, but
hitherto.
if you're a struggling company right now, it's a fucking great time to sell. Just because if you consider like Insomniac, they were acquired, I believe, in 2017. They were like 480 million, I believe. And then you see something like Gearbox, get acquired for I want to say over $1 billion by Embracer
I
Group.
forgot that even happened.
Yeah. So it's like when you see these prices and all that, it's been on the rise for a while now. And if you're someone who are struggling, it is the perfect time to sell and just cash out and get a shit ton of money and just move on with your life and go to different things. So we'll have to wait around and see. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, monopolies are definitely brewing right now. I mean,
yes,
they already exist. They're just
yep, they're
expanding.
getting bigger.
I
Um,
just hope certain actors, certain parties,
Tencent.
Tencent, Google, Amazon, I hope
Yep,
they, how do I put this politely? Fuck off and stay the fuck away
yep. All right.
from all these acquisitions, all these fledgling companies. They don't need any more of a presence. They need
Uh,
less of a presence. They need to be gone. But
I agree. All right. Up next, we have some two different things from Microsoft. First thing is xCloud is finally coming to iOS and PC. So that is awesome. It should be starting today, the beta. So, or actually, the beta started yesterday, I believe. So,
yeah, I didn't get invited, which is some bullshit. I'm about one of the most loyal Xbox players out there.
so
Like, oh, what was that? Your mic didn't pick it up.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mike. I'm so
Sorry for
sorry.
my loss.
I mean,
I'm
dude,
checking my email right now.
yeah, they could have sent you another email. Um,
I could.
check the junk folder. Yeah, I mean, I'm not huge. I'm not even on iOS to begin with. I got the Android xCloud thing when it first happened months ago, and it is awesome. But then again, I'm not really in a situation where I'm gonna be like, oh, I want to go stream. If I want to play, I'll play on my TV or my computer or all that. There's not really a situation where I'll have my phone and then not be home because I'm not gonna go stream on data. I mean, I don't have unlimited data. If I had unlimited data, then this would be awesome, but I don't. So if I'm at like school or on break on my work, it's like, all right, I'm not gonna go waste data to go
I
stream.
gave I gave my entire adolescence to these fuckers. And do I get an invite for xCloud on iOS? No, sir.
Like it'll
Not
come, it'll
me.
come eventually.
I have 133,000 gamer score, but do I get an invite to xCloud? Nope. Not me. Apparently I'm not worthy. I don't know how the fuck I'm not worthy, but
Now, the new
we'll
announcement that just came from Microsoft today is that they're going to be removing the Xbox Live Gold requirement for free to play games. And we knew about this, but we never knew when it was actually coming. Well, it's coming today. So 50 plus games will no longer require an Xbox Live Gold subscription, and they'll continue expanding on that. They have to just work with the developers to do it. And then Xbox Party Chat will also be free to use today, and I did not even know that was required. I thought you can just join Party without a
Yeah,
gold.
I thought you could too.
Well, according to this, you couldn't. But
Huh.
that is definitely exciting for people who don't have gold, so you can now actually play your free to play games free. So very cool.
Who would have thought?
I know, but good on Microsoft for making better decisions. Up next, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. These fucking names, I swear to God.
Well, it's a spin-off series, so
Yeah, bro, it's
it needs
just
to have a subtitle of some sort, but no, I know what you mean.
Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. The last stand of the
The
Um,
last stand of the Sniper Ghost Warrior.
it will be releasing on June 4th, and we knew about this for a while. They were saying Q1, then delayed it to Q2. Well, here we go. Here's your date. I've
I might
not.
check it out.
Yeah, I know Mike has played the other games, at least a few of them.
Well, I played 1 through 3. I never played the
Okay.
first contracts.
Yeah, Ghost Warrior 3 looked interesting, and that one I wanted to check out, and I never did. I probably will check it out eventually, but contracts never really interested me that much, to be honest.
Well, it doesn't have like the map that 3 does, or really
Yeah,
necessarily the story. It's just like an interconnected series of contracts, like Hitman contracts, if
yeah,
you ever played. But I actually played Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 twice, beat it twice, once on PC, once on Xbox. I enjoyed that gameplay. The story wasn't good at all, but the gameplay was really, really nice, really fun, satisfying. I mean, it didn't really perform that well on console, but I was able to work with it and obviously tolerate it enough to beat it again. So I might check this out. I do want to get the first contracts first. I've seen it on store shelves. I've never picked it up. I don't know. I feel like if it was brand new, $20, I would. But then I feel like I've seen it in that condition at that price point. I still have passed on it. I don't know. It's just I want to play it, but I feel like these would be good Game Pass games because they're not like the biggest budget shooters. A lot of people call City Interactive, the developer, Shitty Interactive because of the quality of their releases. I don't call them that because like I like the Sniper Ghost Warrior trilogy. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure almost. They aren't the best games, but they're fun. They're enjoyable for what they are. So I'm not really drawn to the spin-off as much as I am the mainline games, so maybe that'll change. I
yeah,
don't know. I guarantee you most people who watch this won't even know what Sniper Ghost Warrior is, so
yeah. It's not the biggest franchise in the world. Now,
it's a decent FPS series. It's decent.
you want to know what is a big franchise, Mike?
Sure, what's a big franchise?
Resident Evil. Now,
That it is, Frank. That it is. One of
now,
my favorites too.
we got a little announcement that happened at the Resident Evil showcase. Now,
Oh,
I know you didn't watch it. Now, I did watch it. So, go through it.
oh,
Nothing.
I saw this shit and
Uh,
oh my
let me
god,
let
am
me
I
just
pissed
let me
off.
just put the perspective in here. So I'm watching the show. I'm using the Sony live stream, right? So I watch it. I go through the whole show. Nothing crazy happens. They just show blah blah blah, more demos. Here's trust for the shows, the White House. All right, cool. The show ends for me, so I'm like, okay. I go on Twitter, and then I see that Resident Evil 4 has gotten announced for the Oculus Quest 2. So Sony cut this part out of their stream. I guess they knew in
That's
advance.
unbelievable.
Like, and then I go to another stream, and I'm like, so when they said they're ending it, they legit had two different endings. I was like, what, dude? I go on Twitter, and people are talking about this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? So yeah, they announced a Resident Evil 4 for the Oculus Quest 2. Now, dude, could you imagine that this is the quote unquote Resident Evil 4 remake that we've known about? And this is it right here, and there's no actual remake being made.
It would be a fucking disgrace.
Imagine. I mean, it's cool that they're making a little VR game here.
Look, I am so pissed off about this for a variety of reasons, but there's only really one I care to discuss today. So I got an Oculus Quest, first generation, a few years ago for Christmas. Very excited for it because I have like 4 to 5 games on day one. It's not the biggest selection, but you know what? I'm like, fine. I can work with this for now because they say, oh, a bunch of games are going to be coming in 2020 because this is Christmas of 2019. They're like, a bunch of games are going to be coming in 2020. It's going to be constantly supported and updated. So keep on the lookout. Now is the time to invest in Quests. And I was like, fuck yeah, it is. And then I was like, oh, I've been lied to because barely anything came out over 2020. I understand the COVID pandemic happened, but 2019 was a whole year without sickness. So you could have been having games developed that entire time. And oh my god, I just have so many issues with the Quest 1. So not only did they not support it, but if you wanted to play more like demanding games that required a PC, you needed a cable connector, right?
Yeah.
But the port for the cable is on the side of the headset, not behind you. So you trip over it every fucking 5 minutes or less. It's ridiculous. This thing was completely shittily designed, not thought out at all, not supported whatsoever, and it really was just the prototype for the Quest 2. And I see it now. And I am tired of the fucking consumer being used as a guinea pig for these massive corporations who have the money to spend on R&D and trial and error. but they just choose to have the consumer work out the kinks for them. And now we're getting this beefed up Quest 2 with all these features. Oh, and Mike from TGP, one of your favorite games of all time, that's gonna be on there. But since you know the Quest 2, you got $400, you can't fucking play it. Go fuck yourself. Oh, and there's no more games coming out for it anyways, even though it's only been out for a few years. Go fuck yourself. I have one thing to say. Fuck every single suit at Oculus. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg and fuck all the people behind this decision, this exclusivity, this whatever. Because you're scum. You're scum. You know exactly what you did. You played your cards like an asshole, and go fuck yourself.
Mike, I'm getting a call. It is coming in from Facebook. They want you to go buy the Quest 2 right now for $300 right now.
Give it to me. You give it to me for free, and maybe I'll consider using it. How dare they? I swear, they have a camera set up in my house so they can screw me over as specific as possible to my circumstance. Fuck these people. And I know I've been cursing a lot this past minute and a half, probably more than I have in any other episode up until this point. I'm pissed because I'm a Resident Evil mega fan, and I wanted something to play on my goddamn shitty VR headset for the last fucking few years. What I got Super Hot, I have Pistol Whip, I what fucking else? What fucking else? Arizona Sunshine looks like a piece of shit on that thing. It looks like a PS1 game. It's terrible.
The Darth Vader game.
Which I beat in an hour. And there's only one lightsaber fight? Like, bro, get that shit.
Well, you didn't buy the part 2 and part 3 that also feature.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
yes, I did. The duel is in part 3.
Oh.
You have to play through part 1 and 2 to actually get to the fucking duel.
That's
which is great. It was awesome. It was one of my favorite things in a video game ever. But like, that was it. I felt so robbed. I still feel so robbed. And now they're like, oh yeah, buy our next generation headset if you want to play RE4 VR, which I guarantee will be like the only big game they release for it. And then, oh, Quest 3, RE7 VR.
And don't forget to mention that you got to give all your fucking information to Facebook to go play.
Yep. Now you do. I haven't been on my Quest since that update, actually. Because I was like, fuck all that nonsense. I'm not linking to Facebook, but now I might have to because of Resident Evil 4 VR. Because that's not just like an isolated slice of the game. That is the entire experience formatted for VR. Which I fucking, that's awesome.
It is awesome.
Let me play it on like my fucking Index though, which I still haven't been able to set up.
Been broken for like 8 years.
It's not my Index, it's a stupid fucking laptop that doesn't have a display port, and even though I got HDMI to display port, it still doesn't fucking work. I don't understand. VR has never worked for me. I got a Vive back in the day and that never fucking worked because I didn't have enough ports to my GPU or some bullshit. I don't know. I just want VR that works, that's simple, which is why the Quest is such a brilliant idea. Cableless, wireless, no fucking computer or console or anything. It's just there. You just have to charge it, charge the controllers, and then you're ready to go. Or actually, no, I think the controllers have batteries, but you know what I mean.
I get the idea.
It's the ease of access. That's how you get more and more people onto your platform, which Quest is a great idea for. But they don't give a shit about their early adopters. And I know that's a common theme throughout most tech companies, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's not even like, oh, the Quest, was bad hardware and, it's your own fault for buying it. No, it was good for the time and they just never supported it.
Yeah. Not really.
Like, it was just all third-party shit, no exclusive deals like this. And then now it's like, oh, you shouldn't have had faith in us at first. But now you can. You want to come back? It's like, fuck you. You stole $400 from me. Well, not stole, but you know what I mean.
I get it, yeah.
It's frustrating.
It is frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Hey, you want to talk about another shitty company?
Sure. Let's talk about another shitty company, though I don't know who can be as shitty as Facebook besides maybe Google.
Amazon has canceled its Lord.
Oh, there you go.
Amazon has canceled its Lord of the Rings MMO, which was announced 2 years ago due to a dispute with the Chinese conglomerate of Tencent. Yet another setback for Amazon's long struggling video game division. This is coming from Jason Schreier. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really interested in Lord of the Rings MMO.
I mean, we already have one.
Yeah.
It's called the Lord of the Rings Online, which is probably where this dispute came from. Look, I have no. Why the hell? Where does Amazon get the balls to make a Lord of the Rings MMO when they have been developing a Lord of the Rings prequel show for the past like 5, 6 fucking years and we haven't heard anything about it? And it's probably gonna be dog shit too.
Yeah,
If we're gonna be honest, because how
dude.
the fuck are you gonna match Peter Jackson's work? You're not going to. How are
Amazon,
you gonna tell new stories in Tolkien's world without using Tolkien's stories? It's gonna suck
dude.
because it's probably gonna be woke as shit too. If I'm being honest, I don't want that nonsense in my Middle Earth. Middle Earth is supposed to be based fantasy, just left alone from real world politics, and a company like Amazon isn't gonna stick to that because they're
I
bastards.
just don't get how Amazon's gaming division has been this bad. Like
Because they
they are
have no
just,
passion, Frank. They give no fucks. They're like, we see dollar signs, we want to ascertain dollar signs, but they don't have the know-how to make it. So they just put all these billions or millions, however the fuck they put into these, however much they put into these projects and these companies. They're like, give us AAA experience X, give us another AAA experience X, and just keep on going and going with no real mission statement or passion. It's just like we want these mega hits.
yeah,
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
it does.
But it's on a much larger scale than Sony because of the capital that Amazon has. And they just keep flooding these projects with ludicrous amounts of funding, but no real end goal in sight. Just make it a success. And that, broad instructions like that are pretty hard to pull off. And then honestly, when they give these developers such short time frames to work in as well, like with that New World or whatever got canceled.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it just
did
got
New
delayed.
World get canceled or was it? No, it was
It's
another
another
game.
delayed. Another. It's been delayed about 6 times.
No, there was another game that they had that got canceled recently. It was Crucible, was that what it was called?
Let me Google it, dude.
I think it was called Crucible. I'm not entirely sure though. But yeah, they've
Yeah,
just been dropping
Crucible.
the ball. They have
Crucible,
they
free to
have
play
no
game.
passion. They have no passion. They have no guts. They just want instant success.
All right, dude.
And like
Here's Amazon. I mean, they've canceled. They canceled Nova. They canceled Intensity, Breakaway, Crucible, and now the Words of the Ring MMO. And I mean, the only game they've had recently has been the Dragon's Lair, which was nothing good or nothing great. The Grand Tour game, and then New World, which has been delayed
the
multiple
Grand Tour
times.
game sucked, by the
I
way.
wasn't familiar
I
with it.
well, it's based off of a show they had, which brings the guys from Top Gear UK, so like
Yeah,
Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and all of them, and Hammond, and it's kind of just Top Gear but with a new name, which is the Grand Tour. And then they made a game off of it, and the trailer looked great, and I was like, oh, it's gonna have Clarkson narrating and all the guys, and it's just gonna have that old Top Gear feel. So I'll try it out. The graphics were some of the worst shit I've ever seen. The driving mechanics were abhorrent, so stiff for no reason. The computer AI was completely unbalanced. It piss poor game even for $15. It's like give up, Amazon. Just give up. No one wants you here. Number 1. Number 2, no one's buying your fucking games. And number 3, you keep canceling all the ones that have the slightest bit of potential. Get the fuck out. Get
yeah.
out. Do us all a favor. Come on.
All right. We do have a new topic, which I'm adding on here. Now, me and Mike are not big in the JRPG scene, but I like to mention it at the very least. Um, so we had Tales of Arise. That got a release date of September 9th for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. I've never played any of the Tales games. I don't think Mike has either.
Neither have I, so I
It
got nothing to say about
does
this.
look really good graphically. I'm looking at the trailer and the screenshots right now. It looks very pretty, and the gameplay looked fun. So maybe I'll check it out. It depends on what else is releasing around it. Now,
It just went up for pre-order about 7 minutes ago too on Amazon.
yeah,
So if you are interested, you can lock
and
that down
now
for yourself today.
on top of that, the Great Ace Attorney has gotten confirmed for a West release date of July 27th, coming to the PS4, Switch, and Steam. And that will include the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. So if anyone is interested in that, there you go. I mean, I've never played the games, but looks intriguing at the very least.
Can I talk about something that's like strange to me
Go for it.
real quick? And
Go.
it's like kind of related to gaming, but kind of not. And it's also like a personal thing because I use this company a lot. And it's just strange. And I don't really have a point with this. It's just an observation. So like limited run games, you historically when they're done selling something, right? Like a new title they have out, like that's it. You aren't really gonna get it anymore unless they have like leftovers and they do like a special event or like a mystery bag type thing you can buy, or you go through a reseller on eBay, which is just for ludicrous amounts of money. But then sometimes after release, like or after the pre-order window closes, Best Buy just has these like in stock from limited run or from other companies for way cheaper. So like Special Reserve Games did like a Hotline Miami 1 and 2 thing last year in the summer. And I couldn't get it from them, but Limited Run Games had an alternative, right? So I got
Yeah.
it through them. And they were like 25 bucks each for 1 and 2. And I'm not mad about it. I don't regret my purchase. Then the other day, the 1 and 2 comes up on a combined collection on disc from Best Buy coming out this year in July for 30 bucks.
Yeah.
And if I waited, I probably would have gotten that. And again, I'm not too mad because I'm still getting the games separately on their own disc each, which is kind of cool. But you would be a fool if you didn't think I picked it up for Nintendo Switch when I found out about that.
Yeah.
And then this morning I picked up another one because Blasphemy is a game I've been wanting to try for a really long time. It's a Souls-like and it's 2D and it looks really fucking good. And I wanted the physical copy from Limited Run. And that's been sold out. I was tempted to get it one time, but it was like over $100 brand new. And now, regular editions, not just for PS4 and Switch, which is usually what Limited Run only works on, but for Xbox now too. So I picked
Yeah.
up a copy for PlayStation because I play all my Souls games and Souls likes on PlayStation or PC. Um, but that was just really strange to me because now all those people that bought the games on eBay after the fact, I pity you because you could have just waited. But it's just really strange. And now today, straight up, limited runs variant of Doom 64 and the classic editions, which I missed out on, are up for pre-order on Best Buy. And yeah, I'm gonna get it because I just got like the Doom collection for PS4 that they had up on there, and I want to get like the whole set. But it's just like so strange to me. Like I don't know what's happening to limited run if they're in like a bad position. They need to just start like selling some of their stuff through Best Buy, and I don't know if this is going to undercut their entire system of exclusivity and kind of like prestige. I don't know. And I don't really, like I said, I don't have a point about any of this at all, but like I just wanted to put it out here because if anybody that watches our show uses limited run or anything and you have an opinion about this, I'd love to hear it because this is strange.
Yeah.
This is strange to me because they haven't been acting like this
I mean, they must have
really.
some sort of deal going on between the two of them. That'd be
Yeah,
my only guess.
but the thing is, like, sometimes it's cheaper on here, which is so strange. Like, why would you make it cheaper for a competitor? I I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
I really don't know. But
No
yeah, that's
idea.
my thing. I'm sorry for keeping our
All
show
right.
running
No,
longer,
it's fine.
but it's perplexing me. It's
We
truly
had a very
perplexing.
short week this week, so no big deal.
I don't know. That is strange. But yeah, no, I love limited run games. I mean, regardless if they're having any trouble or whatever, I don't want this to be misconstrued as I'm talking shit. I think they do great work. I just picked up 2 copies of Republic Commando because they just had those go up for pre-order. I got the collector's edition for PS4, the standard for Switch. I love those guys. I'm just this is strange behavior. And I would like to know specifics of this deal to satisfy my own curiosity, but I don't think it's like that big in the industry to qualify as any like real news. So even if someone does find out, I doubt I'll hear about it. But it, I don't know. This is weird. Maybe Best Buy's looking to acquire Limited Run.
Maybe they'll close them down.
I would cry. I would literally fucking cry. I
Oh.
think Limited Run has too
Rest
much
in peace,
pride
Gamers Club
and,
Unlocked.
and too much respect for themselves and for the work that they do, which is game preservation. It is a service. I do believe it as such. Because Lord knows a lot of companies don't give a shit. Cough, cough, Sony. But and Nintendo, honestly. Um, so someone has to do it. And I'm glad they're doing it. I didn't really think they would be in the need for a buyout, but they definitely have some type of deal going on with Best Buy, and it seems that the quota of games that is moving to Best Buy's storefront is increasing at a substantial rate. It's just I don't know, weird,
Yeah.
weird doings. Things are afoot.
I
But
agree.
yeah, that's my thing.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Once again, apologies for last week.
Which was a great conversation,
It
by the
was.
way. Honestly,
It's really unfortunate.
I feel like maybe we should just like upload it. Just put a
The
disclaimer
one,
in the title, description, and comments. Be like the lost episode.
the one sided, or just make a highlights of every time Mike starts going off on something.
You literally just title it like Mike's schizophrenic episode. Just
Complicated.
talking to my imaginary friend Frank on my imaginary website, the game preview.
There you go.
It's all been a lie. It's all been created in my psyche.
You just crop my face out. Just have full screen of Mike.
Just talking to the thin air.
Yeah, I don't know that. Blah blah blah.
But I
And you just go
agree.
silent. You're just shaking your head. You're like, yeah.
Communing with the elder gods,
You're like looking up at the ceiling.
the old ones.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you the next one.
Later, everyone.